everyone, this is Georgia with Georgia's Crafty Creations, and I'm so excited to be a part of a collaboration with 26 YouTubers who are doing cards with a Guy card collaboration. Maymay Helms of Maymay Made It and Gareth of G's Creation set this all up and got 26 of us together to bring you 26 different Guy card ideas. Everybody has a different card, so you'll be getting a whole lot of ideas for a card for Dad for Father's Day, birthdays, or whatever occasion you want to make your card for. Also, there is going to be a contest, and each one of us was given a letter, and from that letter we are to give you a tool which you might find in Daddy's tool chest. So if you watch this video, somewhere during the video I will give you my tool. My letter is S, and you'll want to write down from A to Z and watch all the different videos, which will be in a link below, and keep track of those. And at the end, when Gareth does the last video, he will put in what you need to do to enter the contest, and there's going to be 3 different prizes, so you want to watch everybody's video and definitely join in on the contest. Now today, for my card, I did a general purpose card, which I made into a birthday card for my husband just by writing in it. But my husband is really into nature. So what the supplies I use for this card is, this is Out Into the Wild by DCWV card stack, which is a really neat card stack. So we're going to use that. We're also going to use a stamp from Inky Antics clear stamp set, and we're going to use the nature stamp over here. So let's get started on the card. Now the card we're going to make looks like this, and it does have a sentiment on the inside. I did create a file in Cricut, and I'll tell you how I do my sentiments in a little bit. So the first thing we have is a card base, and this is cut at 6 by 8. So your finished card is going to be a 4 by 6 card. And it's already scored because I did cut this with my Cricut, but I always like to give it a little extra score mark because it just seems to make it fold better and crisper. So we're going to go ahead and just score that down one more time. And then we're going to take the card and go ahead and fold it. There we go. Now the next thing, what I did, since he likes nature, instead of doing a couple mats, I actually cut a piece of paper from the card stack that is a forest. So we're just going to take some double-sided Tombow tape, and we're going to get that attached to the card base. And I am working upside down, so I hope I get everything lined up correctly. So this is our card base. I want to make sure I get my trees going in the right direction, which I am for the card. We're going to go ahead and put this down on the base. Now the next step we're going to do is we're going to take this little strip and stamp our sentiment on it. And I use a Misty because I am not a very good stamper, and this just makes things so much easier. So we're going to take our little strip and set it in here where we want it, in the Misty. And I'm going to put a couple magnets on. I'm not going to put on this far right side of it because that's where I want to stamp. And you're going to line your stamp up. I've never worked upside down, so this is a challenge. We're going to line our stamp up where we want it. And get this paper right in. Then we're going to go ahead and push down and grab our stamp. And then I'm going to ink it up with some Stays On Jet Black ink. The good thing about the Misty is if you're not a good stamper like me, if you have to re-stamp it, you can stamp it again. And we're going to press down on that. And see? Yep, we need to stamp it one more time. I like this because it lines everything up perfectly, right where you want it. And we're going to put that down very carefully again, push down on it. There we go, much better. So now we have our little strip. I'll set the Misty aside. I'll clean that off in a minute. Now all I did with the strip is I took my card, just making sure, my tree's got me flummoxed being upside down. And we're just going to run some tape on the back of this strip. And we're going to place it just down, not quite, you don't want to center it in the card, you want to keep it a little bit lower. And we're going to go with about right there on this one. Now if you want to cut this out by hand, the card base would be a 6 by 8. The mat is 5 3/4 by 3 3/4. And the strip is 0.8 inches by 5.6 inches. So the next thing I did is I have 2 hexagons cut. I have one cut the same color as the card base. And then I have one cut with the deer on it. Now the deer I actually cut on the Scan and Cut 2, which I am going to have a video at some point showing how to do this, because like I wanted a hexagon shape. So on the Scan and Cut I could put my paper down, scan it in, and then pick a hexagon shape and be able to place it and cut exactly where I want it to with the deer. So I really like that feature of the Scan and Cut. But the next thing we're going to do, we're going to take the dark green hexagon and we're going to place it down on this side of the card, and you want to try to center up your points here so it's straight, and I eyeball it. I never measure exactly, I just like eyeballing it. And then for the deer piece, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a few pieces of foam tape and just put those on here, and 3 should be good for this. Also, if you want to ink up the edges of your paper, you can do that too. I just didn't do it on this card. I liked it how it was because it's just kind of rustic looking. And then you're going to line up your deer and put it in there. Now one thing, I will go back to Daddy's toolbox right now. Are you ready for the word? My letter is S, so in my Daddy's toolbox and my toolbox, I have a screwdriver. So my word is screwdriver. Now that could be a finished card there, and you could write whatever you want inside. But what I like to do is if you go online and just Google or search for birthday sentiments, I like to find something that goes with what I've stamped on the front. And then what I will do is I have 2 ways of doing it. This one, I just typed the sentiment or what I could find to go with nature in with my Cricut and had the Cricut write it out for me. Another way I do it sometimes is to take and go into whatever word processor you have, which I have Word, and I'll do a text box and I'll type in the sentiment, and I like to print it out on my laser printer, and then you can foil it with your laminator or Mink foiler if you have that. So that's just a little tip. So we're going to go ahead and put some double-sided tape on the back of the sentiment. We're going to open this up and we're going to get that lined up. Now this card, like I said, I wrote in one for my husband for his birthday. I didn't get it quite lined up, but I'm still okay with it. But you could do birthday, Father's Day, or a just because day to tell somebody, the man in your life, that you really love him, especially if he's into woodsy things. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and be sure to check out everybody else's video. The link will be below. And to the new people who subscribe for this, thank you. This is my first full card I've done on YouTube. I usually do tutorials on machines, which I'm going to be doing some Scan and Cut too. And there will be more projects in the future. So thank you for watching. Enjoy all the guy cards. Like and subscribe to all the people who have worked hard to bring these to you. Thank you for watching and have a great day.